great. Well, just looking back to Wycombe, one of those games, I suppose, where just the key moments didn't go for you. There was a lot to enjoy about the performance, but I guess it's the case in any game, really. What you do in both boxes is always really important.
Yeah, we feel like we were really unfortunate, actually, to take nothing from the game, which has happened a fair bit for us throughout the year, but I thought we played really well. And you know, most things were in our favour statistically, apart from the most important one. So there's plenty in our process of how we went about the game that gives us real confidence that we were in a good position in the game and in line for the sort of game we wanted. And it looked how we thought it would look. And I think some of the priorities of those games, you know, not a team you want to fall 2 goals behind to because of how difficult it can be at that point. But I liked how we played the game. I liked how we attacked it, chased it, tried to generate momentum in it. I thought we created some really good moments and chances in the game. And little bits didn't quite fall for us. You know, we had a brilliant chance at 1-0 to go at 1-1, and then obviously the half ended with them getting the second goal, which, when you look back at it, it hits the crossbar, then the post to fall to their lad. I mean, it could have gone anywhere off the woodwork, but it just didn't quite fall for us. So it was one of them evenings that was a bit frustrating in terms of the outcome, but actually for large parts of it, what we wanted from the game, we did get, and we got to trust that is the process to get us results, as it has done in recent weeks. I think some of our performances and results have been excellent, and we'll have to find that again 4 more times.
Did you have a bit of sympathy with the subs coming on, looking to make an impact that final part of the game? You mentioned it on Tuesday, very stop-start. Wycombe did a very good job of preventing you from really building any momentum. Having said that, George Thomas looking really bright.
Yeah, George is a bag of energy, and he's desperate to finish the season well. Same with Fajiri, really. They've missed so much football, they're desperate to impact games when they come on the pitch. But it was a tough game to try and influence because you couldn't build any momentum, because between Wycombe and the referee, it just never flowed a little at all in the second half. So you have to use very few moments to try and generate some tempo or some momentum, and we weren't quite able to do it. But we did have a few decent moments in that period. George had a chance himself, which he might have done better with, which took a deflection just wide. Joey had a header. Sam had a header from a corner. Good moments, good chances ourselves. So we were frustrated that the outcome of the game was what it was, because we certainly feel, and I think everything suggests, that we deserve more from it.
With Plymouth then this weekend, their home record particularly strong. Just with the journey heading down to Devon, always something to deal with, but they've been really good at home park.
Yeah, it'll be a long few days for us to play with that one. We've saved a couple of the monster trips and overnight stays for the last couple of weeks of the season. It's unusual to play 3 in a row away as well, which obviously we've got coming up now. So we know that can create its own challenges, but at the same time that's just how it is. But they're a brilliant side, and they're top of the league for a reason. And since Shuey's taken over, his win percentage is a joke. You know, the last 2 years, the number of games they've won is unbelievable. And the way in which they're playing, I thought they recruited brilliantly in January to give them really good depth and options in the attacking positions. Home records outstanding. You know, they are where they are because they deserve to be there. And also, not only that, the statistics obviously then all fall in their favour. So we know how tough that task is going to be. We've had a decent record against them in recent seasons. We've got to hope that can be the same again this weekend, because ultimately the task is to take it to the last week and be in it and in the race with those 3 games that we've got coming at the end.
Yeah, 5 unbeaten against Plymouth in league games, which is a good record. And I guess the highest praise really we can say for Plymouth is that you look at the 2 sides they're competing with for the automatic promotion places, to have stuck all the way through and had the consistency alongside Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday is huge, really. Yeah,
definitely. And you know, pound for pound, with a lot of the top 7 or 8, they wouldn't be in the same budget league as a lot of those top clubs or big clubs, and would arguably be one of the smaller clubs in that top cluster. But having said that, they've 17,000 sellouts most weeks. The atmosphere will be excellent, and also, off the back of last season, and it obviously ended disappointingly right at the end for them, they'll be determined that isn't the case this way, and people keep doubting them, but they're there every single week, putting results together, putting big wins together. You know, a great late winner on Tuesday night gives them real boost going into this game, and they're 4 games away from creating a little bit of history for themselves. So we wish them well, because they're a brilliant club and they run well, but we want to try and put a pause on that this weekend if we can.
With the team news, is there any clearer picture on Lloyd? Have you got a timescale on him yet?
No, we haven't. We'll see how he is the next 2 days. I think Saturday's really unlikely. But if it is that he misses out Saturday, we'd be really hopeful that he'd be available next weekend. So we've got to see how he is at the minute. It's probably a 90% that he's not going to be available at the weekend. So we'll just see whether anything settles in the next couple of days. But it's looking unlikely, but we hope that he'll be available next weekend. And other than that, everybody came through the game fine. So we've got plenty of players to choose from.
If you want to switch to the back three and the option is clearly there, is Jabril your man? Is it just as obvious as that he's the guy to come in if Lloyd isn't available?
If we want to do it, Jabril can play there. I think Harrison could play in it. I think Brandon could play in it. I think we've got a few that could do it. So we've certainly got that option, but we found a really good way playing how we are at the moment, and it would take a big choice to move away from that, I think, this weekend, knowing that we've played with a real attacking purpose and we've gone after teams and we've looked at real attacking threat. So lots of things to consider there, but we're really pleased with where we are and the options that all these players give us.
With George Williams, is it still a case of final week for him, if at all?
Yeah, if at all, yeah. It won't be any earlier than that. So we just need to see how that settles. He's not out on the grass yet, so maybe at some point next week he'll be able to. But probably by this time next week we'll have a much better idea whether or not that's going to be possible or not.
And I guess overall, where you're at the moment, it's just a case of every point's massive, isn't it? And you'll be looking at the other side, what they do or don't do. You can't really escape it at this stage, but every single point you can pick up can make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, our own and everyone's results. Every game, every goal matters at the moment. You're glued to the other results, particularly when we're not playing. There's a midweek round of games for a couple on Tuesday where we aren't playing, so we'll be at those games or we'll be scrolling the internet trying to find out what's happening at them. Everything comes in at the moment. One thing we've done really well actually is just be really focused in our own performances and hope that other things go our way and we get our own bit done. But fundamentally, first and foremost, we've got to do our own thing. But there's no getting away from the fact we need other teams to drop points and it to go with us. We've got ourselves into a position that a few weeks ago would have definitely bit your hands off for, and now it's about trying to consolidate that and keep chasing the teams above us.